everyone. I know it's a busy week for our school district, so I'm going to go ahead and get started for all of our guests that are here. So will you please call to order. I know we have some parents coming from Romeo Middle School, so we need to give them a minute to catch their breath here.
Here.
Mrs. Bonner? Here. Mrs. Bowman? Here. Mr. Boyer?
Present.
Mr. Hoppe? Here. Mrs. Langford? Here. Let's rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Motion.
Support.
Motion by Chahaki, second by Antoine. Any questions? Okay, all in favor? Aye. We are going to move on right away to our Bulldog spotlight, and then we have some introductions tonight.
So bringing the spotlight back, we've taken a couple months off, but now that we're back in school, we look forward to bringing some students and staff highlights to the board each month. Tonight we're introducing our new administrators. We're excited to have them on board. They've been hard at work for a couple weeks now, and we're excited. So Mrs. Vengler, I said this morning at opening day, my paternal instinct made me feel like I need to say, "Are you sure?" But she's so confident and so ready. So we're super excited to have Katie Vengler as the new Romeo Middle School Assistant Principal. So congratulations, Katie. And then I was talking with Mr. Toko's family. Every time we can take a UCS employee and convert them into a bulldog, it's a good thing. Oops, someone might see that. So anyways, we're excited. A couple of years ago, Tony expressed interest in the same position and was a finalist. And I heard in the early stages of this summer's hiring process, he made comment like, "This is my job and I'm getting it this time." And so his determination is welcome, and he's transitioning in great. So congratulations, Tony, and welcome to the team. Tradition of the row of handshakes down the board, and then we'll get a picture of you guys down on the end, so come on up.
Congratulations. Just the board president. And you. Thank you. All right, well, welcome, and know that they are very hard and busy at work. So, moving on now to presentations. Do you have anything? All right. So can I have a motion then to approve our consent action items? Motion by Bowman.
Support.
Support by Antoine. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. All right, we are going to move on to communications.
So just a couple of them. The most important one is, I believe the board has received this, but the State School Boards Association will have a vote, delegate assembly at the fall conference on October 23rd, I believe it is. Our charge is by October 9th to appoint a delegate and an alternate that would vote on behalf of the board. So we don't have to do that tonight, but I think if we can get some conversation going about who might be interested in attending the conference. Maybe one of our board members might already be working the conference because of her other job. But we should have a plan for that by October 9th, so we can tell MASB and then.
Just want to look at those dates. Board
Yeah,
members.
I don't actually think that date is correct, because I have on my calendar that I am going to be there the 24th, 25th.
Yeah, the 9th is when we have to tell them by.
Okay, I was like, it's not done though, just so you know.
Yep.
It's 23rd.
So Mr. Connor served that role for us so faithfully for years, and we don't realize like, oops, Wayne's not here. So anyways, we'll figure that out at the September meeting, by the September meeting. There's also a note in your packet tonight, another thank you note for one of our graduates for the scholarship they received. So happy to share those with you. That's probably about the end of those, but you never know. Some people actually get into college and then say, oh, I should say thank you for this money that's making my tuition bill less. So we have a couple subcommittee reports tonight.
You want to start with safety?
Sure. We met on August 11th. First discussion item was the Power School Behavior Support Software, which is on tonight's agenda, Resolution 76. Mr. Murray went into a deeper explanation from the July board packet about the Power School Support System. Other administrators were present. They shared examples of how they thought the system can be useful to staff and the management of students. Some concerns were discussed, like the breach of data and privacy involving students and their private information. Questions asked were who has access to the information, how can it be limited for certain staff, so teachers, principals would have access. And then there were some other questions asked. Is it going to be user-friendly for teachers since they're already logged down as it is during the day? So that was one question I thought was great. So it should streamline everything if that does come to use. The next thing we discussed was policy 6002, the behavior threat assessment rating rubric. It's on tonight's agenda. It was in review at that point. The first reading was in May. The edited language emphasizes a management team, and Ms. Selden clarified what the rating system is for the BTA. She gave examples of what falls under low, moderate, high, and imminent threat. Board members asked where other issues involving bullying, harassment, viewing explicit videos would fall in the realm of student behavior if they don't fall under the behavior threat assessment. Ms. McFarland explained that those kinds of disciplinary issues are at the building level and will be dealt with administrators via the student code of conduct. Management team implementation of the BTA. Dr. Robinson gave us a list that currently compromises our behavior management team and how they will meet quarterly and more if needed. Ms. McFarland would also be involved, especially at the secondary level, and Mr. Murray at the elementary level. Mary Selden and Mike Thomas, our security director, will be leading the team. I don't remember the full list, but some of the names on the management team are Ms. Amber Fountain, Mr. Brad Marks, Ms. Falmiano, and a few other staff members in the district. The student 25-26 safety focus areas, we're going to look at better coordination with first responders, fine-tuning relocation and reunification procedures, overall communication to fine-tune protocols, and implementing the management team, as I said before, of the BTA. Student conduct reporting update. BOE reports will be a monthly report that include the BTA, if any, a summary of due process hearings, a summary of any serious discipline incidents. This is something we've been asking for, so we're very happy to have that being implemented. A few board members would like included in the report incidents of severe bullying, any threats of physical harm, fights, and any disciplinary action taken. The last item needs to be determined by the team, and they will report back to us in the fall when we meet again. We discussed the SHIELD briefing procedure for this year to improve our security protocols. They're going to have weekly meetings. They'll meet in the middle of the week, depending on the building, so they'll be briefed. Anywhere from students that are returning, any issues that students are having, so they can be better able to help these students to try to avoid any further issues. Any facility issues that pertain to safety as well, so that's very good to hear. And then lastly, we discussed parent outreach events, the wellness fair and the digital detox. The wellness fair will take place, I think, on October 15th, is that correct? That's the date I have. I just want to verify it's correct in case it's.
I didn't look it up to know.
Okay, well, for now it's the 15th.
It's October.
in conjunction with parent-teacher conferences. So as parents are coming to meet the teachers, they can also utilize this wellness fair, and we hope to have a good attendance for that. The digital detox event will take place sometime in October, but we're waiting on Kenny Spears' availability, and that's all I have.
Any questions at this time about security?
It's October 6th.
16th, okay.
All right, moving on to facilities.
Our committee met on the 18th. Myself, Mike, and Brielle were there. We started off with Mark Nelson giving us an update about the fiber break that caused the interruption in service. And as you know from your board packet, they're still working to get that. The schools are back up, but the full correction is going to require the highway being shut down for a little bit. So that's to be determined. In the 2021 bond, we talked about Group 2 projects. We were updated on the first floor at the administration building and where they were at, and moving everybody back there, and also bringing the other people back over from special services. We talked about Romeo Middle School site work. We talked about the new field and how much time, you want to make sure you cultivate the field and you give it time, and we're waiting the bleachers. And so we just want to be cognizant that we're not going to be able to use it right away. Maybe hopefully one game there, but just we want to make sure it sets and gets done properly so it has time to grow and last for a long time. We talked quickly about the amendment to Resolution 57, which will be on for tonight. We talked about the overview of ongoing projects for the summer. As you know, even from our meeting to today, tons of stuff has gotten done as we're getting ready for the opening of school. But we did talk about the RTU installation progress for RMS and RHS. And fire alarm and drinking fountains will be installed by the start of the school. We went over the change orders, looking at all the change orders, gave an update on where we are with our contingency funds for each project. And we do have one on tonight for the concrete and fencing. Oh wait, I'm sorry, we're pausing on that one.
Yeah.
We're pausing on that one. Tonight is going to be the elevator modernization, the courtyard turf proposal. We did talk about our sinking fund. Mr. Storm updated us on the roofing project that will be done before school started, and then the administration building elevator project and getting that up and running. Mr. Storm also talked to us about the turf that we will be using for the RHS courtyard project, and we reviewed the bids and we supported bringing the lowest proposal, which utilized the Sourcewell consortium to the full board, and that's on for tonight as well. Some of the board member topics, Mr. Antoine had asked the district to research the possibility of reflective signage at the entrance to the high school, as the lighting is not really good when you're out on that road. And we also just talked about the main entrance to RHS. And then we adjourned at 5:21.
Any questions for facilities? All right, and then we are going to move on to our superintendent's report.
Mr. Murray.
Good evening. Just a couple things for you tonight. There's 2 bullet points. There's a lot of work there, both leading up to it and then during our Welcome Back PD, and then after as we launch into the school year. We won't have somebody dressed up as a transformer coming to our PD tomorrow, but we're nevertheless excited about the opportunity for adult learning. And so launching tomorrow will be Professional Learning Around Number Center and Amplify CKLA 3rd edition, which are new curricular resources for us. Teachers will have time to kind of adjust that information and also time to collaborate with each other around how we get the year started, and then stay strong and carry out new teaching and learning throughout the year itself. Again, second bullet is just really tied to the two new curricular resources that the board has provided us the funds to secure, and we're excited to see where it's going to take our kids. Questions for me? Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I just want to touch base a little bit. We spent 3 days with our 13 new hires. I think we have a 14th that's going to onboard this week. But we spent a lot of time talking about our community, doing some community building among themselves, and some strategic overview of the district and where we're headed. They got their first aid, CPR, AVERT training, school safety overview, and we dove into our instructional framework. So the work that they're doing at the building levels for goal setting and things, they know a little bit of context and not walk in not understanding any of the framework. Professional development, our secondary buildings have been planning, soliciting, I know the high school surveyed their staff of what, their interests and needs were, so they've done a good job balancing, things that we have to do and things that they need. Same with middle school, so flat panel training, those things, the touch screen thingies. So that's happening at both 9th grade and the high school. And at the middle school, there's on-demand for either our new people or people that want a little bit more experience with that. At the high school, there's quite a few teacher-led sessions of teachers training their peers. And then they have team time, SLC, and department time to do some curricular alignment. At the middle school, this is year 2 of capturing kids' hearts, so they're going to do an overview themselves of how to start the year off strong using some of the materials from CKH, ensuring social contracts, good things, launches, an overview of Schoology, because we can never learn enough about Schoology, and again, some curriculum development. And we actually are having the math consultant from the ISD on the second day, second afternoon, work with our middle school math teachers around instructional strategies and the illustrative math curriculum. That's all I have. Any questions? All right, thank you.
So I guess I would highlight, I'll amend Mr. Murray's report to include Amanda Moore joining the CKH family. And so they're taking some time to do their initial training this week in the first afternoon of kids. So we're excited to see the program come to Amanda Moore this year. So the annual theme is out. We've been talking about, we've been using the word transform, transformation, transforming, really for almost a decade now. All the way back to the master planning process for the academies at Romeo High School. If you know anything about Ford NGL strands for strategic alignment, they all start with transforming. So the board knows that we spent time, last semester with our leadership team and engaged you at the March workshop to bring those structures forward, to just kind of guide our work in a variety of ways moving forward across the entire system. So as we began to think about that, of course, my pondering starts in March for the annual theme and sometimes comes all the way down to July. But in June, I really kind of settled in on trying to roll with this. I am not a Transformers person. So in early July, I actually watched my first Transformers movie. Then I had to do a little homework to make sure they weren't all bad, because I didn't think it was good that we had an annual theme, so they are not. There are good and bad Transformers, and we are of the good sort. And then I went to work with the graphic artist that we've done some work with, typically for our t-shirts and some other things every year. And I presented to her this notion. And as I shared this morning, she responded to my first email. I said, "What do you think?" And she said, "Well, I think it's dorky in a charming way." So that was my call to our staff this morning was, you are all Bulldog Transformers, and we'll continue to transform the student experience here to get everything out of it for our kids and families. So you just got to play along this year and be dorky in a charming way with me. So there's a sense of additional authority when you walk in the footsteps of Optimus Prime, which I had the opportunity to do this morning. So we had some fun, and you can see like this just turned out really neat. If you know anything about the traditional Transformer logo, we've morphed our bulldog, and I'm really hopeful this is kind of a lighter, funner theme this year that I'm really hopeful our kids we can get our kids more directly connected to in that. But it's amazing to learn some of the adults on staff who are Transformer junkies that I would have had no idea. And those that you can predict, like Mr. Savage, I knew Mr. Savage being the Fighting Bulldogs coach, informed me, yes, that will be going on the robot this year. And so I'm just excited to get that rolling. I'll share with the board, I know some of you were there this morning, we started our journey on our staff taking the opportunity to share their transformation testimonials. So these can be teaching and learning initiatives, structures, systems, and culture, or partnerships with business and community. We've actually added our own fourth strand because of all the work we're doing on facilities and infrastructure. So we heard a little bit about that too. So the annual theme is out. Board members, you have your team uniform for this year. I would ask you to pause because most of our staff are probably getting them tomorrow. And then it's fair game by 3:30 tomorrow afternoon to wear as you would like. So that was kind of the front of our shirt, and then the back is this call to our staff, because they truly are all transformers of kids and programs and community at all levels. So just quickly on the facilities bond, Mrs. Bonnick hit on many of these things. I would take the opportunity to thank Mr. Tolis and Mr. Urban, because when it comes to August and you work for Barton Mallow, you are typically spending 7 days a week in district and extended hours, and Mother Nature has not been our friend in terms of many of our outdoor projects, but things are coming together, and most often Labor Day weekend brings some last minute things to get things ready. So in terms of our parking lots, we're in good shape there. The west side of the middle school will get finished up before our parents come to drop off their middle schoolers next Tuesday morning. Playgrounds are going to get there. If we have any remaining work left, it would just be a little bit of site work. But we're excited for our 3 elementaries that are getting their new playgrounds, and we look forward to Indian Hills and Pebble getting theirs in the summer of 2026. Roofing came down to the wire at the middle school. We did a significant roofing project there, and I think they're wrapping up some finished work. But the parking lot work and the roofers were kind of working together, some days better than others all summer, and Mr. Tolis was the referee and coach. So fire alarm upgrades, most of that work happened in the evening. We started in the spring, and we'll bring all of our buildings up to date on their fire alarms. We're going to spend a little time this fall talking about Filter First, which is a legislative requirement that's required to be in place at early childhood facilities by the end of September, and by the rest of school buildings by June of 26. So our drinking fountain replacements are all part of that, and I know the facilities committee has heard more about that than the full board has. But we've got some new signage, we've got some new fountains, and just kind of changing how that works to make it manageable, because it really could it has taken on a mind of its own. So us, like every public school district, is just trying to make it manageable. Our interior renovation work, for the most part, is going well. The 9th grade academy serving area, Mrs. Arns, yes, Mrs. Arns, I've been praying for your patience. That probably is the one area of any of our projects that's going to take a couple weeks into the school year, but they're working hard. They're coordinating the different trades, and maybe a little sooner than that. Inspectors hold the keys sometimes to us actually being able to fully utilize. The good things is our students at the 9th grade academy will be able to use the cafeteria to eat, and our kitchen staff will have a fully functioning kitchen. It's just this new redesign on the serving area that got held up because we had to make some changes in July. But once it's done, it's going to be great. And I got some pictures of the new ceiling and that, so I'm excited for that facility because that refresh is really going to change just that environment for our freshmen. So right now, it looks like that's probably the one area of any project that's going to take us a little longer. There are some areas of the 9th grade building that will be finished this fall. That was intended in the original plan, and Melissa has put her staff around those, and so we'll cordon off and work during the school year like we have in many of our renovation projects. So November 4th is an important date for Romeo Community Schools. I know that we've begun to push out information about the facilities bond. And so just going to take a minute to click through a few of the overview slides in hopes that the recording of this might be seen by some folks in the community that aren't directly connected to the school district. And then they would go to our website to get more information. If we remember our job as a district is to just make sure the voters are informed. So whether they're voting absentee, early in person, or on November 4th, we want them to be educated. We want everyone to vote because that's important. This is a special election, so in our area, we will be the only proposal on the ballot. That's good because sometimes these lengthy presidential and midterm ballots were at the very end, and ballot fatigue can make people not really tune in. So our theme for this election is really reaching the finish line together. I brought some folks here tonight that have been in this process for a long time, just to represent the fact that it took a while to get to even start this journey in 2016. But as we got that going and got momentum, you know, the opportunity came in 2021 and the community supported us again. And so our long-range facilities plan that was really kind of anointed in January of 2019 has one leg left. And so the finish line is in sight. I'm grateful that we have a lot more to see and a lot more to experience, both for our district families, our students, and our community. And I like to say the fruits of our labor. You know, it's a no increase bond. So what we're looking at is $62 million proposal. I told the staff this morning that when I had the opportunity in 2018 to review the original facilities assessment when they designed the 2016 bond, they were estimating over $200 million the district would need to get to a place where facilities were updated. So it's interesting that we look at almost $170 million in between 2016 and 2021, and you add this into it, and with a little bit of escalation, they probably were pretty much on at that time. That doesn't mean that some things haven't changed over the course of almost a decade, but we're within that range of what was projected to be needed. It's a zero increase to the current tax rate, and I'll be doing a traveling roadshow to break down more about these four main project areas on infrastructure, safety and security, learning environment updates, our athletics and play area. So as I said, since 2016, our community has supported a long-range plan. Not every member of the community, I think, really knew that plan, and some have asked me good questions like, well, wait a minute, you weren't the superintendent in 2016, so how could you have been a part of that? Well, I remember interviewing for this job, and there was a couple things that were really important, and one of them was make sure that high school gets built and gets built on schedule, because there was footing in the ground then. And so, you know, as I got to know what the 2016 bond included and what it didn't, and what some expectations were in the community, and began to clarify things that weren't included in that, because the biggest chunk of that money was building the new high school, but there were some other things we needed to do. We began to map out the path forward with the long-range plan. We did not know when the opportunity to get more funding was going to happen, but we needed to be prepared when it came. So this really is the final step. Does that mean that there will never be the need for facilities money again in Romeo? No. It means we laid this plan out and we have the opportunity to get the funding that will really put construction efforts probably into 2029 before things with the new bond would be done. So 0 increase to the current tax rate. We had the survey and the focus groups, and there was good conversation about how projects were identified. There is a significant amount of that work that is done internally with our architects and the construction management team, but we engaged the community and took the feedback that they gave us. One of the things that I think was different with this bond was that, we had been on this road, we've been constructing for a while, and we've been talking about these things. So I think there might be, I know there is, an increased level of trust, because we heard that. And the community in large part said, if you tell us this is what you need, we trust you. That doesn't mean that means trust is a yes vote, it means we have to inform people and get them prepared to exercise their right to vote. Let me see here. There is a component of the 2025 bond that is unique, and that is our dollars did not go as far in the 2021 bond, whereas in the 2016 we actually had savings. And the savings helped the first group of projects in the 2021 bond be done in their entirety. So we really have tried to do our best to execute the projects the way they were intended and keep things the way that we desire them for staff and students. And that left, in May of 2023, an updated timeline, and the board, approved a deferred project list. So we have an obligation to do that, and those are included in this 2025 bond. One of the things that I saw recently from some advertisement for a proposal in a neighboring district in the August election date helps explain this whole notion of 0 tax rate. So all homeowners in the district pay a debt retirement rate of 3.85 mils. I want to remind folks in the room and the people that watch this that we continue to be the 3rd lowest in Macomb County. After all the work we've done, we are still the 3rd lowest. And I would like to say, prudent efforts, responsible design and building has kept us there. So nothing has been overly elaborate, but yet everything is super, super nice. I tell our kids, you're spoiled, but you're worth it, as they get to use these new facilities. So our homeowners are paying that rate, but over time, some of our initial bonds begin to expire, and we would just maintain the rate, and that's why this bond would just replace that, and we continue to pay that rate again, longer in the future. I told some folks that your kids will probably be in school by then, and so we've got a significant repayment term when you begin to look at these stacked up over time. So no increase. We're asking our voters to continue to pay the same and allow us to get to the finish line. So November 4th is election day. Those in the inner circle get nervous because absentee ballots come out on September 25th. So we've got work to do to get information out to people. We've got a good campaign plan that will be a mixture of, social media, in-person sessions, and some mailings in that we're hopeful. The community might also hear very soon about a citizens committee that is assembled to help support of the passage of this bond, and they can be a little bit more direct in terms of encouraging people how to vote. So I'm thankful for that group as they form to help the district. So ultimately, if people have questions, they should just call my office. But there is a survey that runs throughout the bond that they can put comments, questions, concerns, and our campaign consultants filter that every day, and we'll change our messaging. We'll send direct communications if it's misinformation. But if you go to romeok12.org, and you'll see our election logo on the top left corner, that'll get you to the web page, and we continue to add resources to that every week. So I have a friend here, and the only regret I have with my friend is that I never got the opportunity to work directly with him. But I've been grateful for his friendship, and I asked him to come tonight because the vision for one campus for Romeo High School really is probably ultimately his authorship. So anyways, I'm thankful that Greg could come tonight. But Greg, there's a little different reason why you're here. So play along with me for the next couple minutes if you would, please. I'm asking the board this evening, Mrs. Eichhorst, as the board knows, to amend Resolution 57 from the May 27th meeting to actually make that resolution a little bit more formal. So if you would, could you read our amended resolution, and then maybe we could take some action on it.
I have it, it's a little bit lengthy, so bear with me, I'll try to read quickly. But I would offer amended resolution number 57, whereas under the school district's Board of Education policy 6009, the board reserves exclusive rights for naming school district buildings and facilities. And whereas on May 27th of this year, the school district's Board of Ed, through its resolution number 57, voted to grant the superintendent limited authority under the Board of Education policy 6009 to consider the naming of the new Romeo Middle School's outdoor athletic facility. And whereas the Board of Education desires to amend this resolution to name RMS Athletic Facility in honor of Mr. Greg Reiner. And whereas Mr. Reiner deserves this honor as he has been part of the Romeo community for over 40 years and serves as Director of Parks and Recreation for 14 years and Athletic and Activities Director for the school district for 20 years before his retirement in June of 2018. And whereas even after his retirement, Mr. Reiner served the community as a member of the Fort County Commission Foundation Board and as Washington Romeo Bruce Parks and Recreation Commissioner. And whereas Mr. Reiner's impact on the whole Romeo area community is timeless and will transcend his time as our school district's athletic director for generations to come. Some of the greatest community traditions we experience here in Romeo have Greg Reiner's fingerprints and passion behind them. And whereas Mr. Reiner's greatest legacy may very well be his vision and belief behind the mantra, "Be Romeo." And whereas the Board of Education recognizes the importance of honoring individuals whose dedication, service, and commitment have made a lasting impact on our students, schools, and community at large, and it is the desire of this Board of Education to ensure that Greg Reiner's legacy continues to inspire future generations. And naming RMS's outdoor athletic facility in Mr. Reiner's honor will serve as a lasting tribute to his extraordinary service and dedication to Romeo Community Schools. Now therefore, be it resolved, the school district's Board of Education hereby designates and names Romeo Middle School's outdoor athletic facility as the Breinart Field, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the school district and throughout the community. Appropriate signage will be placed at Romeo Middle School's facility to signify this honor and to remind all who gather there of Greg Breinart's remarkable legacy. This resolution shall be entered into the permanent records of the Board of Education and shared with Mr. Breinart as a token of the school district's gratitude and respect. A little presentation for you.
So Mr. Breinart, if you look at the screen there, I think you've probably seen that view a day or two in your life. So we've changed things a little bit, but we're happy you spent so many days and hours and months and years out there, whether it was at Parks and Rec or Romeo High School. So Mrs. Eichhorst, if we could proceed in
Yes,
voting on
we
the
need
motion.
to take an official vote on that. So can I have an offer for a minute?
Motion.
Motion by Antoine.
Be seconding that as someone who met Mr. Breinart when I first got involved in the schools here, and I think I would never say I could match his passion for parks and recreation and athletics, but I certainly was energized by it, which led me to run for the school board and try to make some of his vision come to life through the bond issues and things that we've done.
Can we clap?
job here when I became a scoreboard keeper. So that was my first interaction with you, and it was always great to see you around the building. So we do need to take an official vote. So I have a motion by Antoine, a second by Bonnet.
Mr. Antoine,
Any
yes.
questions?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go ahead and do roll call.
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
100% yes.
Mrs. Bowman? Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey?
Yes.
Mrs. Eichelberg?
Yes.
I'm 100%.
Now we can clap.
So now that the secret's out, we can actually talk about the official naming ceremony at Breinert Field. So on Friday, September 26th at 4 p.m., we're going to invite the entire community out for a naming ceremony. And might look something like that by then. And we're just excited. So I've been waiting for this for a long time and talking to a couple of your kids about it over Zoom, and I think we got the secret. So congratulations. Thank you to your colleagues for being here. We'll take a short break and we can get a few pictures, and then we'll let you guys get on to your evening and we'll finish up the board meeting. So Mr. Breinert, if you would bring your plaque over to this end, and board members, if you want to get a picture with him, with his framed resolution. Why don't we go down here and get this in the back?
Everybody? You want you two or all?
Yeah, everybody.
Figured it out. You probably reach out.
We're going to have to turn shoulders.
Let me get a look.
There you go.
Charlie.
All right.
All right, family, come on in here.
Ready? The lifers, let's go. Picture with us. The lifers, yeah. No. I'll get that picture. Hug some pictures. So well deserved. Oh, is that what we're doing? You're getting another picture, yeah?
Take one step forward so the screen isn't cutting the light. There you go. That's a winner right there.
That's good. Where's it going?
Tony stole a baby.
All right. Bobby comes over here.
Thank you all very much.
You don't have to talk tonight, but on the 26th.
They're right.
Give me a few minutes.
Okay, we are going to move on. We have our first public comment, and I do not have any yellow slips. So we are going to move on to our regular action items, and just to keep consistent, we have a lot of different things here. I am going to ask Ms. Rice if we do roll call for each of them. But we are going to start with resolution number 80, our personnel update. We have quite a big list there, typical for this time of year. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Support. Okay, motion by Bowman, support by Bonnick. Any questions? All right, can I have a roll call for resolution 80?
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
Yes.
Mrs. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey? Yes. Mrs. Nyhorst?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Okay, motion passes. Moving on to Employee Services Resolution 81. This is our tentative agreement with our AFSCME child care contract, and we've had a lot of those types of resolutions this summer. 'Tis the season for that, so you have that in your packet to read through since last week. Do I have a motion? No motion.
Support.
Okay, moved by Bonnick, support by Rice. Any questions? Okay, roll call for that.
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey?
Yes.
Mrs. Nyhorst?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
All right, moving on to board policy update. This is Employee Services Resolution 82A. It's a Board of Education policy update for 1001, which is the conflict of interest. There's been a lot of discussion around this at the policy subcommittees that we've seen a lot in our notes. So moved. Support by Bonnick, support by Rice. Any questions? Okay. Mr. Roll call.
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey? Yes. Mrs. Nyhorst? I'm a yes.
Motion passes. Moving on, Employee Services Resolution 82, letter B, Board of Education Policy Update. This is Policy 6002, dealing with our safety and security. Again, a lot of discussion at our subcommittee levels that got a lot of information going back and forth on that. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Support.
Okay, motion by Chahaki, support by Bowman.
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
Yes.
Mrs. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey?
Yes.
Mrs. Nyhorst?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Motion passes. Moving on, Employee Services Resolution 83. This is the amendment to our superintendent's contract. You had that language sent out last week.
Motion.
Support. Motion by Antoine. Support by Bonnick. Any questions? This is an amendment to change the salary schedule of that position. Any questions? Okay.
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey? Yes. Ms. Nyhorst?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to Facilities Resolution 84. This is the elevator renovation project that Ms. Bonnick spoke of during her report.
Motion.
Support. Motion by Antoine, support by Chahaki. Any questions?
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Ms. Bonnet?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey? Yes. Mrs. Nyhorst?
And yes.
I'm a yes.
Moving on to Facilities Resolution 85, the 2021 bond project, and this was dealing with the courtyard renovation at the high school.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Bonnick, support by Antoine. Any questions?
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
Yes.
Mrs. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey? Yes. Mrs. Nyhorst?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Academic Services Resolution number 64. This is the update dealing with attendance to the 25-26 student and parent handbook. Mr. Murray, thank you for sending that out with a link so we could view that before tonight.
Motion?
Motion by Rice, support by Bowman. Any questions?
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Mrs. Bonnet?
Yes.
Mrs. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey? Yes. Mrs. Nyhorst?
Yes. Motion passes. And then lastly, Academic Services number 76. And this deals with the Power School Behavior Support Software that was presented to us at security. And button our security report tonight.
Motion.
Motion by Rice, support by Donick. Any questions?
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Ms. Sonic?
Yes.
Mrs. Bowman?
No.
Mr. Boyer?
No.
Mr. Hockey?
No.
Mrs. Eichelberg?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Motion passes.
Point of order. In light of policy 1001 just being passed, wouldn't this be a conflict of interest on behalf of Anita be voting on this one? Since she is a consultant for schools?
Power school.
You have
that.
the ability to, I mean, you get paid to consult on these things. I think you should abstain from this vote.
I don't even, tell me why. I will abstain if you need me to, but what was it? I'm a power school?
Yeah.
I don't do anything with power.
Well, you are a consultant, so you would consult on these things.
No, I don't consult at all. I don't work with any administrators, nothing, I don't do anything like that. No, I work for Ramsey,
Okay.
which is a cooperative bid. So we go out and get, and not even a voting person, I don't get to vote on anything that's brought forward whatsoever.
Okay,
I do the marketing. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, I have nothing to do with this whatsoever.
Just been concerned of conflict of interest here.
Sure. If you find a straw, I'd be happy to abstain, but I've never done anything involved in that whatsoever. And technically, Rumsey doesn't have any employees, so I don't actually get paid like that anyways. I don't individual LLC.
So motion passed for the record.
Passed on 4-3 for resolution number 76. All right, moving on to board discussion or anything for the good of the district. I will start. It was a great to be part of this morning to welcome back our teachers and staff. I know a lot of them have been working hard over the summer, especially our administrators and people in the office coming back before today, so we just wish them well. Summer went by quickly, so hopefully they all came back refreshed, and it was good to be part of that this morning.
The highlight was Dr.
Yes.
Robinson coming down the aisle as a transformer. That was my favorite part.
I got a photo.
I don't know if that.
I have a photo and video if
anybody.
anybody
Very cool.
We will make the video available for the other board members
I
that we
did.
showed.
I already sent it to them.
It was epic.
Just for those that missed, because that was special.
That's one on the Facebook page for sure.
Gives permission.
I love it.
Anyone else? So we don't have any yellow slips for last public comment, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Oh, we also have. I support.
Moved by Bonnet, support by Antoine.
Different support.
You gotta vote.
Oh, Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Ms. Sonic? Yes. Ms. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Boyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hockey? Yes. Ms. Eichelberg?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Thank you, everyone.